Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome back to KrabsLab. Today, we're going to be doing some back testing, and what we're doing today is we're back testing the ICT Silver Bullet, and here's pretty much the trading plan that I made for the strategy that I'm going to be back testing. And firstly, I just want to say the reason that backtesting a new strategy is because in my old strategy I did not get the best results. I mean, it was slightly profitable, but this is not the type of results I want to be getting over 6 months. This is not the type of results I want to be getting over half a year. So I'm testing out a new system. Actually, it looks like gotta clean up my camera, but we're testing out the Silver Bullet, and we're gonna be back testing this. So I have adjusted it a little bit to meet my criteria, what I want to look for. So I'm gonna be trading only NASDAQ from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Check for news, determine daily buys, and next draw on liquidity on the higher time frame. I'm going to be marking up previous day's highs and lows and session highs and lows. These are high probability areas of liquidity. And I'm going to identify the previous daily 4-hour and 1-hour candle closure for session buys. And as well, I will be looking at higher time frame gaps as well. But here are going to be my setups. My A+ setup will be bias plus liquidity rate plus displacement plus 5-minute fair value gap, and that will be the A+. The A- setup will be bias, displacement, 5-minute gap, no liquidity rate. I really want to have liquidity rates because that's something that I want to focus on, is liquidity. And when old highs and lows are swept, it's pretty high probability that moves will happen off of that. And the B+ setup here is just bias, liquidity rate, and 5-minute fair value gap, no displacement. But yeah, ideally I want to be taking these A+ setups in this backtesting, but we're going to see how it goes. Might not even take these, but we'll see. I mean, honestly, this is pretty valid too. But yeah, these are all solid setups. So I'm going to be on the 5-minute time frame for my entries. I gotta have multiple confluences, which I have here. I'm not even gonna put that actually. But yeah, exits at old highs and lows, exits at fair value gaps. And I'm gonna be using a risk management strategy that I've been doing for a while, is moving stops to break even at 1-to-1 RR and targeting a 1-to-2 RR. Ideally 1-to-2, but we're gonna be also noting down how far trades go, and based on the data I collect in here, we could adjust the strategy and develop it over time if I have to. But yeah, that's why we backtest. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing 1 trade per silver bullet, so only 1 trade per day pretty much for this data, 1% risk. So that means that my max risk for the day is just 1%, which is a fixed amount of risk. So stop loss to break even at 1-to-1 is another risk management strategy I'm going to be using. If this does not turn out how I want it to be and I get a ton of break evens, and I notice that price is running to TP after smacking me out break even, I'll definitely adjust this rule, but this is just something I'm used to now, like as of like from my past. So I really like this risk management strategy, but we're gonna see if I need to adjust this or not based on the data that we're gonna be collecting here. And stop loss is gonna be placed above / below the candle that formed the fair value gap. So I'll be showing that later. But yeah, here's some psychology. Sticking to the system is key, and yeah, not following your rules means you want to fail. But yeah, this is pretty much the trading plan that we will be using for this back testing. But yeah, we're on NASDAQ here. We're going to be back testing January right now, starting on the 3rd because market closed Monday. On the 3rd here, this is a Tuesday. But yeah, let's hop right in. So market is definitely closed on the 2nd. So we're gonna skip over here to 10 a.m. our kill zone time. And 10 a.m. right here. Looks like we had liquidity swept here already at 9:40 around market open. We swept these highs. But yeah, right now I'm gonna just mark up the previous day real quick, just to get a feel for where exactly we are. So I'm gonna mark up previous day's highs and lows and session highs and lows right now. Here we got previous day's low, previous day's high up here. Looks like previous day's high was rated, and then we had a reaction down off of that, so you can see right here. Boom. But let's mark up session highs and lows now. Right here we got, these are just some pre-market lows, but this is a pretty significant low, so I'm gonna mark that up. Actually, I'm gonna mark up this one because we already ran that one. This is the Asia low. Price could be drawing there right now. For London, looks like London high was already swept here. So you can see that reaction off the London high. Pretty big move right there. But yeah, on the on the daily here, previous candle closed bullish, previous 4-hour closed bearish. Hold up. But on the 4-hour here, looks like we're breaking structure to the upside here to continue bullish. So I am more bullish right now. 1-hour closed bullish as well. Looks like right now we could be forming the next leg up here. So my bias right now is bullish for sure. But yeah, on the 15-minute here, I'm gonna, on the 1-hour first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark up any gaps in price, just to have a feel for where exactly we are. We'll mark this up, 1 hour gap. I want to have this as like a more neutral color because it is a 1 hour. I don't want it to be like too, just something like this, just so that I keep it in my mind that we're inside of a 1 hour gap right now and that we could want to fill it. But yeah, hopping down to the 15-minute. Looks like we got 15-minute gap right here. We're gonna mark that up as well. We're gonna make this one like a different color. Let's make it like a blue. We're gonna mark this up as 15-minute fair value gap. But yeah, firstly, I should have done this before, but my bias right now is bullish based on 4 hour breaking structure to the upside here, break structure, and we're creating this possibly third leg here. Previous daily candle closing bullish here. I mean, daily is in a little bit of a downtrend, but let's check the weekly. Weekly's bearish, break a structure. I mean, yeah, but for the short term, definitely more bullish based on 4 hour here, based on 1 hour here. Looking for buys, so I'm gonna mark up my bias here. Daily's bullish, 4 hour was, I believe, bearish, 1 hour bullish. Let me double check. I forget what 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours bearish closure, but break a structure upside. But yeah, now we're gonna hop on the 5-minute. We're gonna skip to our kill zone, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here. Let me make these gaps smaller. I just messed up my gap. There's the 15-minute gap and the 1 hour right there, I believe. Yeah. But alright, hopping down to the 5-minute. Now we're gonna watch what price does here at 10 a.m. But yeah, right now I'm looking for a fair value gap to continue us to the upside. So right now we could wanna sweep this Asia low right here. So honestly, it could make sense if price wants to sweep this Asia low right now, being the drawn liquidity. So I'm thinking of taking this gap right here, but on the 1 hour, I mean, we have 1 hour break a structure to the downside. I'm gonna make this bias like, it's more like mixed. Oh wait, but now 1 hour closed bearish, so that changed our bias to a bit more mixed. Now we have 1 hour break a structure to the downside, but we have this 1 hour imbalance here that price could want to fill. But yeah, let's see if we can get a fair value gap to the downside, or to the upside, I mean. Let's just watch and see what price wants to do. Looks like we're coming down to this Asia low and to fill this 1 hour gap here. I do still think we could get a move up because we have this 1 hour imbalance here that price could reach for right here. believe it's going to sweep these lows and then target that imbalance. Price right now is just melting. Could be targeting these previous days lows as well. Let's see what London did. Yeah, London was also bullish, so ideally I want to continue that upside move. So we're looking to fill this 1 hour gap right here. Might not have a setup here, but let's see. Now we're getting our move. No fair value gaps left behind though. I mean, this is an imbalance, but yeah, not really any gaps left behind. So yeah, that's it. No setups here. We're bullish bias pretty much based on that daily being bullish. But looking at the 4 hour here, break a structure to the downside could make tomorrow more bearish. And the 1 hour here, break a structure downside. Did we grab some type of liquidity? So now let's just see if I had a bearish move. It looks like I did, but my bias was not really bearish here. But if I had a bearish move, if I had a bearish bias, it would be a move something like this. Stops above, stops like right here, 20-point stop. So that would actually give a very nice RR. But my bias was more bullish here. So yeah, on to the next day. I'm gonna mark it up. I'm gonna keep note that did get a bearish setup. Price targeted 1 hour for value gap. And it also targeted Asia lows. And I bet price is running towards previous day's lows right here. Let's just play this. And let's see. Yep. Boom. Right to previous day's lows right there. So maybe looking back at this, I could have taken something bearish right here because price clearly was drawn to these previous day's lows. But yeah, we're gonna keep that in mind for the rest of the week. And yeah, that was actually pretty nice watching price reach for these lows right here. I'm still predicting that price will want to run these lows a little bit more though. Or maybe not. I mean, we did run the lows here. But yeah, that's it for that silver bullet. I'm gonna throw this into my journal, even though I didn't take anything here. I'm gonna throw this in here. I'm gonna put no entry. No entry with my bias. Throw that everywhere. But yeah, on to the next day. It is a Wednesday. But yeah, we're gonna skip over there. Mark up previous day's high here. Alright, this is 9. Let me skip to 10. But yeah, previous day's high right here. Previous day's low. Here's my trading window, 11 a.m. right there. But yeah, I'm skip to 10 a.m. here. Market already opened, didn't really do anything. January 4th. Looks like we could get some news here. But yeah, what I'm gonna do right now is, I'm not sure what this consolidation is. Market did open. New York Times. Yeah, I don't know, pretty slow price movement here. But right here we got London high. We got London low right here. Right here. Just had a hiccup. See, where was Asia high, Asia low? Asia low right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Let's hop on the daily time frame. Previous daily bearish. So now I can see more of a bearish reaction. I mean, we did sweep the previous day's low. Or did we? Nah, not yet. So previous day's low can still be a target. But on the 4 hour here, let's see what we got. We got a 4 hour gap up here. Gonna mark up my higher time frame gaps. And down here looks like we have this 4 hour gap. Just gonna keep this marked up. This is very far away from price, but I'm gonna just leave it marked up anyway. But yeah, hopping on the 1 hour. Oh yeah, so 4 hours bullish, daily's bearish, but we filled this daily imbalance up here and rejected it. But 4 hour here is bullish, 1 hour is bullish as well, but the daily candle gives me most of my bias, so bias is mixed, but we are bearish. Let's see what the 1 hour did. Looks like we could be breaking structure here to the downside. But yeah, daily candle is bearish. I like going off with the daily candle because that is a pretty high probability time frame. But right now we do have the lower time frame is kind of bullish. But yeah, hopping on the 15 minute. Let's see if we have any major gaps here in price. We do have this 15-minute gap right here. And we do have a 15-minute gap here. Actually, I'm gonna draw this out so that it looks better. Boom, 15-minute. Gonna change the color here so that it's not the same color as the other gap. And hopping on the 5-minute here. I'm looking for a bearish fair value gap. But yeah, we do have some displacement right here. But yeah, let's just see what price does now. Oh, very nice. Oh wait, that's a news candle. I was about to say very nice displacement, but that's a news candle. So we're gonna wait a minute. Look at that, 15-minute Asia low ran for liquidity right there. What a reaction off that Asia low. Yeah, so news is crazy right now. Looks like news grabbed liquidity from Asia. This is like a news candle right now, so I do not trust this too much right now. But if we do make a fair value gap here when this closes, I could look for a trade off of that. Yeah, so right here, I see this 5-minute gap. That price could react off of to continue bearish. This is a pretty wide gap, but let's see. Yeah, this is a bit too wide. But yeah, right here, I do see this 5-minute gap. But it is like a news candle gap, and stops would be pretty wide. Kind of crazy stops if I'm being real. It would have to be above this candle. But yeah, I mean, that's gonna be our entry opportunity. Actually, you know, nah, it just does not make sense for stops to be that big. But let's see what we could do here. If this creates a gap and we get a play off of that, that would be nice, because we do have a nice target right now of previous day's low right here. But alright, perfect. So right here, we just formed a new gap right here. I think I'm gonna take this off the rip right now, because now my stop loss would make more sense to just put my stop above this candle here, having about a 30-point stop here. But yeah, I would say that this is let's see what type of setup this would be. What we have here is bias, we have displacement, 5-minute gap. So this would be like A minus setup. We don't really have liquidity swept. I mean, let's see the 1 hour. I mean, I guess you can say this was liquidity swept right here. But yeah, this is gonna be our trade. We're about to put this in right now. Just sell a market here. 30-point stop, targeting a 1 to 2. And let's see if this plays out or not. I do not like this 5-minute gap above here as well. So let's see what price does here. We got a nice 30-point stop above this 5-minute candle. But yeah, pushing into profit now. Never mind. I spoke too soon. See if we can hit 1 to 1 here. We're going to move stops to break even if we could. I do still like the setup. We just need a 5-minute closure like that. Bearish would be nice. Looks like price is rejecting here. We're just playing inside of this 5-minute fair value gap right now, by the looks of it. But yeah, we're gonna hold this out. And that's stop loss right there, minus 1%. Yeah, so I would say this isn't the cleanest trade ever, because we had news right here, and we had this 5-minute gap here, which was a 15-minute imbalance, and price looked like it's coming back into that. But I did want to target these previous days low here for liquidity. But yeah, right now let's just see what happens. Yeah, so price fully reversed. But yeah, we're gonna throw this in to our journal. Minus 1%, minus 30 points. Stop loss was about 30 points. Went short here, yes, followed by a bearish entry time. Let's see, 10:15 a.m. Setup was a A- setup. We had bias, displacement, fair value gap. We didn't really have liquidity swept, if I'm being real. So that's why it was an A- setup. So you can see right here, bias, displacement, 5-minute gap, A- setup. Honestly, I might make this a B, like if I'm being real, because liquidity would say this is better because bias plus liquidity rate plus 5-minute fair value gap is basically like the 2022 model, the 2022 ICT model. So yeah, I would say not having liquidity swept is a pretty riskier setup, I would say. But yeah. Oh wait, I'm tripping. Let me throw that in here. I want to note that we didn't have liquidity swept, and we had a wide 5-minute fair value gap above my entry. We almost hit a 1-to-1 RR, so we almost were allowed to move stops to break even, but we just weren't allowed yet because we didn't move to break even. But yeah, rules were followed. I would say this is a valid trade though. We did get a little bit of profits here, but we did not get the full TP. We did have a nice target. Target was previous day's lows as well. I'm gonna note that down. Target / draw. Liquidity was previous day's lows nearby. And something I'm gonna note that I think could have definitely messed with this trade was we got some type of news here at 10 a.m. Let's check exactly what news it was, because now I'm wondering. Let's go all the way back to 2023. I'm gonna go to June 2023, or not June, January 2023. So what was the news here? It says that there wasn't really any news. Tuesday, Wednesday, alright, 10 a.m. we had Jolts and ISM services, or not ISM services, ISM manufacturing PMI, and Jolts job openings. That Jolts did actually give a pretty big news candle here at 10 a.m. But this gap up here messed up my setup because my stop was still inside of a fair value gap. But yeah, we're on to the next trade, on to the next day now. We did have a big reversal here after sweeping the Asia lows. I just want to see what this looked like on the 1 hour. But yeah, swept Asia lows, had a reaction to continue price bullish here. Alright, on to the next day, the 5th. This is a Thursday here. Let's see what news is here. Thursday the 5th, we got 8 a.m. news. Nothing after. I mean, there's natural gas storage, but that doesn't really do anything. Yellow folder, 10:30 a.m. But yeah, nothing I'm worried about on Thursday, so no news day. Next, so let's skip over there. This is the 5th. Skipping over to 10 a.m. here. marking up the previous day here. Gonna mark up previous day's highs and lows once again. As you can see, this is very repetitive, but that is what I want to do because I'm building a system, or I'm not building, I'm testing a system right now, and I'll see how my system performs over months of time. But yeah, here we got London high here. Looks like London high was swept for liquidity, and boom, huge move down off of that right there. As you can see, this is why I like to use session highs and lows as well as previous days highs and lows. Like as you can see right here, previous day's low swept for liquidity, and boom, we're starting to get a reaction up right now. But yeah, on the sessions here, let's see what Asia low here. London low here was also swept. Alright, so now I'm going to determine my bias. Previous daily candle closing bullish, but bias recently hasn't been the best due to daily and 4-hour candles being different. But here we have both daily and 4-hour, both previous candles closing bullish, meaning it's pretty much easier to determine my bias from that. But here looks like 1 hour broke structure to the downside. Some displacement right here, which gave a move down. But now we're sweeping these, or we're raiding these previous day's lows. These equal lows down here are being raided. So a bullish move up could make a lot of sense here. Targeting the previous day's highs. Here's the next drawn liquidity that I'm predicting. After sweeping previous day's lows here, we got bullish bias here. But yeah, I'm gonna mark that up. So we got daily bullish, 4-hour bullish, 1 hour bearish. But 4-hour here, this does not look like the cleanest chart if I'm being real. Pretty choppy here, price action. But yeah, on the daily is in a bit of a downtrend. Let's see the weekly. Weekly's bullish though. Looks like on the weekly we could be drawing towards this weekly gap up here, which I'm gonna just mark out because of why not. Daily, don't see any major gaps in price. Yeah, nothing on the daily really. I'm looking at 4-hour. Looks like we have a 4-hour gap up here that we could be targeting. Could be a higher time frame target as well. And down here looks like we got 4-hour gap here. But yeah, other than that, I don't even see price going this far right now. Back down. Oh, so actually, yeah, so look at that. Previous day's low was swept for liquidity. Boom, price tapped into this 4-hour gap. Didn't fully fill it, but it did tap into about 50%. But here's another 4-hour gap. I'm gonna just mark these out because these higher time frame gaps are something I like to look at a lot, because price likes to react off of them like this. As you can see here, previous day's low was swept for liquidity, or as I like to say, rated, and then tapped 50% of this 4-hour gap, and we got a move up. So I'm gonna hop on, or let's see here. Here was also a 1-hour gap, which we tapped into multiple times here. I'm gonna change the color of this just because it is a different time frame. I like to change the color per time frame. 1-hour gap here, and hopping down on the 15-minute here. Looks like we've actually swept all this liquidity down here, these equal lows, and sweeping previous day's lows. We do have liquidity swept, so now if I can find myself a fair value gap to enter upon to continue to the upside. And let's see, what is this? This is a 1-hour gap, which would be like inverse kinda if this 5-minute closes bullish. But yeah, I'm gonna mark up my kill zone here. I'm gonna skip this, play 10 a.m. Alright, so boom, we have 5-minute fair value gap right here. Gonna mark this up with a different color. Let's do something bright, something red, but I don't want, I feel like red is like an emotional color. I don't really want it red. Let's see, what about purple? Purple. 5-minute fair value gap here. Alright, so if price can tap into this 5-minute gap, I'm expecting price to continue up to realistically target these previous days highs all the way up here. But yeah, let's see what price wants to do. If we can get our entry here during our kill zone, and stop loss here would be below the candle that formed the gap. So right here at about 30 points, stop. Targeting just a 1 to 2 for right now. Let's see, we do have a 15-minute gap right here. We're gonna mark up. Price could be drawing towards that. Let's just change the color to something. Let's just make it red, just to make it different. But yeah, on the 1-hour here, we do have this nice 1-hour imbalance I'm looking at also. And I am taking my time with this analysis because I'm treating this as if it's the live market, and this is what I would be realistically doing in the live market. So yeah, we're 1-hour imbalance up here. Alright, so let's see if we can get triggered here. So this is our target here. Short-term target. Our longer-term target is previous day's highs up here. So realistically, if I would want to take an entry like this here, then leave a runner to target all the way up here, that will give a nice risk to reward. Maybe even just target liquidity up here. That will give a nice risk to reward. But for right now, for this data, I'm only trying to get 1 to 2 RRs. But yeah, let's see if we can get triggered here. Price may just fly without us. But yeah, we're not triggered yet. Looks like we filled this 15-minute gap. And see if we could tap our gap. I mean, we did just fill this 5-minute gap that just formed right now, but I missed that entry, if I'm being real. So we might just see price fly right now, if I'm being honest. I did not mark up that 5-minute gap right here. Which is honestly my fault. Big else if this plays out. But yeah, let's see. I do want to see it play out though. But yeah, I'm going to just throw this right here because 5-minute gap here. I'm not going to count this as a trade. I just want to see if this plays out. If we could tap back into it, I'll enter. But yeah, right here, if we tap into the lower gap, I'll enter off of that. But yeah, let's see here. Looks like we re-tapped that 5-minute gap here. Reacted off of it again. But yeah, if we can tap into this lower gap, I'll get my entry. It's like we almost tapped into it. Alright, so now we are in. Let me set my trade here. A little bit later in the session here. Missed my ideal entry. My ideal entry would have probably gotten hit break even right now. Looking at it. But yeah, here's my ideal entry. Target 1 to 2, buy market, boom. But yeah, it's pretty much for this trade. This is, we have bias. Let's see. We got bias. We got, well, we had displacement. Let's see. Liquidity rate of previous day's lows. And we're targeting, still targeting this 1 hour imbalance. It didn't fully get filled. But yeah. Let's see what price can do here. Looks like we could fully fill this 5-minute gap and then reject as well. See if we can hit 1-on-1. Boom, 1-on-1 hit. We're gonna move stops to break even here, making this a risk-free trade. I don't wanna keep risking when I'm already up what I risked, because even a lot of people, they take their profits at a 1-to-1 RR, which I want my 1-to-2. So we got 5-minute imbalance here, meaning that price could draw down here and then react and continue. But yeah, the main thing about this trade is the bullish bias. So I'm trusting that if price wants to fill this imbalance and then react, let's see, might get hit break even here, but let's see. And break even here was hit. Now let's just see if it was a good break even or not, or if this trade will play out bullish or not. Looks like we could be coming down to fill this 5-minute gap fully. But yeah, let's just see if this was a good break even or if it was a bad break even. But most of the time for me personally, break evens save me from taking losses, because on these indices like NASDAQ, when you're up like a 1-to-1, these indices are pretty volatile, so you can expect price to just give you the rest of the push. But when price reverses, hits your break even, it's pretty high probability, I would say, that your stop will get hit. But yeah, let's just see. This could have just been a bad break even and we continue up. But if it is, that'll just be something that I will note. But yeah, let me just write down break even hit. We'll speed this up. Right now it's like lunch hour, I think. Or not yet. Almost lunch hour. Actually, not yet. Still got some time. 12 is lunch hour. But yeah, let's see if our bias plays out here. Pretty choppy price action, honestly, right now. But honestly, I would rather take my break even right now than be holding this, honestly. Very choppy consolidation here, playing in this 15-minute gap. Yeah, I would not even want to be holding this, and it looks like, oh, alright, so it was just a bad break even. But what is this move right here? 13.20. This happened at 1:20. Let's see. Was there any news? Not really. Just looks like it was a sharp move after the lunch hour. But yeah, I'm gonna note this down, what happened here. But bias did play out. But we got hit break even. Let me just bring closer this gap so that for the screenshot I have pretty much everything that I was looking at before. But yeah, alright, here's the screenshot right here. Throw this in here. Rules followed. Yes, break even. Zero points. Break evens are winning trades in my eyes because they're not actually losing anything. But yeah, bias here, bullish. Entry time was 10:35. Stop was also like 30 points. Yeah, so this setup, we didn't really have displacement, honestly. It was more of fair value gap and bias, pretty much. And we had a drawn liquidity here, this 1 hour imbalance. So I would say this would be like a B- setup probably. But yeah, I'm gonna note this down because we're gonna add this into the setups. So we're gonna call it like C-. Because ideally I want another confluence like displacement or some liquidity being swept. But yeah, there is the setup. We're gonna mark up what happened here. Mark up our bias. And this will be the final trade for this video. We're getting at about 1 hour right now in time, so I'm gonna just call it here for the session. We had no entry, 1L, 1 break even. We're gonna keep this going tomorrow, and we're gonna see what we could do tomorrow. But yeah, pretty good session here. We're learning a lot. Risk 1%. But just by the start of this data, it's going pretty well. Well, not pretty well as in like results, but I mean like it's going pretty well as in seeing my bias play out, seeing my target get hit right here, seeing my entry be pretty valid, seeing my stop loss placement be good below fair value gap candles. So that's what I mean by this session was good. Even though if the results aren't the best right now, I mean we only took 2 trades, so you can't judge anything about strategy from 2 trades, that's for sure. But yeah, bias is playing out nice. But yeah, let me just throw this in. Bias plus 5-minute gap. We're gonna throw this into our setups right here. But yeah guys, if you want to grab this journal for yourself, it's in my free Discord. Link is in my description. Also, the backtesting software that I use is also in the description of this video. And if you want to grab the journal that I use and this trading plan template that I made, it's all right here under free resources right here. You can grab everything right here, make yourself a copy right here. The most valuable thing is this trading journal. But yeah, so make sure to hop in there, join the community. We got live trading in there every morning at 9:20 a.m. But yeah, we're gonna just journal up this trade and call it a night here. 10 p.m. I'll go sleep. But yeah, gonna wake up tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, so it's the first day of the week. We're gonna make sure we have a good week. But yeah, this C+ setup, mainly because we didn't really have liquidity swept or displacement, so we just have bias and 5-minute gap. But we also had a nice target. I'm gonna put that. Hold up. So mark this up here. But I'm gonna add in that we also 1 hour imbalance target as liquidity draw. And the main thing about this trade was that moved stop loss to break even at 1-to-1 RR, but price went to hit BE, then continued up to TP. I had good SL placement, good stop loss placement here below candle formed fair value gap. And what we also had here was we had a nice 1 hour imbalance target. We had a nice 1 hour imbalance target get hit. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this backtesting session hop in my Discord, guys, if you're not in here already. We got a ton of members in here joining up. We got a lot of like-minded individuals. Everybody here is working to get funded. And we do also have some funded traders as well. But we are at, let's see how many members. We're at 267 members. We're growing every day. Today at 5, we went up like 4 members within a few hours. Yesterday we were at 250. So in a day we got about like, what's 267 minus 250? I don't even know. 17? Something like that. But yeah, we're growing pretty fast. So make sure to hop in here. Eventually, I'm going to be locking up this community and making it more exclusive, not letting people in, making it a wait list. So make sure to hop in there. But yeah, guys, until next time, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace. If you actually made it till the end of this video, comment squid. Comment that if you actually made it to the end of this video. Because I don't believe that anyone will actually sit through here and watch all this. But yeah, I'm gonna be real. These videos are more for myself, just so that once I get funded, prop firm capital, and once I really get good at trading, I can look back on these and see how far I've come and what I see in the markets right now and what I'll see like in the future. Like, I want to look back on these videos in like 2-3 years and see how far I've come. But yeah, pretty much this is it for today. Peace.